Hey, party people. So I got my new camera and it looks uber fuzzy right now. Hang on. Let's see what we can do about that. Much better. Okay, so you guys are obviously getting a lot more of my background than you normally do. And you're at a different angle than normal. That's because I have my camera like right in front of my monitor. And I'm waiting for the tripod to get here, but this is so much clearer. Every time it moves, it doesn't help. And this cable still has like all of the usual kinks in it, so it moves itself. So I'm so sorry to start with that you guys are just kind of at my fat level, so apologies ahead of time. But I wanted to go live because I am going to do complete revamp of my hair. I know you guys saw me do my haircutting tutorial video for layers and doing it DIY at home. I mean, I've cut hair I've been doing my own since I was 18. Just the basic styling stuff, nothing too fancy. And like I said in my DIY, I don't have any actual cosmetology like school experience. I just take really good notes. So, I have been dyeing my hair since the second I was allowed to, so almost immediately after high school when I moved out. I have been using box dye most of the time, and the last time I did a total revamp of my hair was in 2015 after 7 boxes of bleach. Fried my hair to a crispity crunch. And it was the first time I went to a salon, and I told the girl to just take off all the damage and style it as best she could once the damage was gone. But I just could not stop dyeing my hair. I'm not sure why. Like, I have this addiction, I guess, to using my body and my hair as like a canvas for my self-expression, which honestly, I think that's what you should do. From a personal level, you should be able to use your body however you want. If you choose to have your body be a temple, super. If you choose to have your body be a theme park, go for it. It's your body, it's your hair. Just as long as you're not hurting other people, do you, right? And I think that because of all the dyeing, especially when my hair was red before I went back to what's the closest semblance of my current natural color, I was dyeing my hair like every 2 weeks. And because the second that the fire engine red grew out at all, it looked like a black line, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't handle any part of my root showing. So I would re-dye my hair, but the problem is unlike a smart person, I would re-dye my whole head and not just my roots, even though there was nothing wrong with color in my mid-lengths and ends. So I'm fairly certain that my hair is decently damaged. But I don't know how to tell the difference between dry and damaged. I know there's a difference between your hair just being dry and needing a little moisture, a little oil treatment or whatever, and it being damaged, like dead, like if you do anything to it, it will just break off like a broom twig. I don't know how to tell the difference. So I am currently working. Anybody who saw my hair cutting video, you saw my hair, but I'm currently working with this. Okay. And my hair's not straightened. I think I brushed it this morning. I'm not sure. I've been up and running since 8 this morning. And it's getting to the point where I don't actually know what day it is. Thank God for my Google Calendar, because otherwise I'd be late for everything. So this is what I'm currently working with. And under this color, there's 2, 3, 4 boxes of dye, some bleach, and color correctant. And before that, it was red box after red box after red box after red box, plus some black. Low lights at one point, and then some more red, and it's been a cluster bomb of box color and experimenting. But I've had fun with my hair. The problem is that, as much as I have enjoyed the ride, my hair doesn't really seem like it has. I can tell you that if I take a swatch, right, just of the front, that if I run my fingers through my hair, that I can hear it like crunching, I guess. And there's a tangible texture change at about here. Like it feels really soft and healthy, and then I get to here and it gets really rough, like really, really rough and crispy and crackly, like in my ear. So I decided, and this is not just one of those 2 a.m. whim in the morning things. I've actually been considering this for a while, since my roots started growing out. You can't really see it because I decently box dye matched my hair the second time. But let me see if I can get a light on the subject here. Flashlight on. Okay, so if you look at my hair this way, right, you can see that there's some decent regrowth, and then like the lighter color is there because that's as close to my natural as I could box match, right? It's maybe an inch of regrowth, but I want to start from scratch and see how healthy I can get my hair. And this is going to be a challenge for me because I am, like I said, I feel like I'm almost addicted to dyeing my hair. But I've had this color now since before the lockdown started, because I remember being at my office with the super orange hair, and then I found a match to my roots, I thought, put that in, and it was way too blonde, like way too light. You could see it, the growth the next day almost. So my hair is constantly falling out, and judging by the length of most of the strands, I'm going to say it's from the mid shaft down. And your hair will break off wherever it wants to. Like if it needs to break off, it's going to break off. And I'm constantly shedding. I feel so bad because my kids, my 2 2-year-olds and my 8-year-old, I have to have them wear slippers even when it's hot like this, just to keep from their bare feet picking up the hairs on the carpet. And I vacuum it up all the time. But all I have to do is even look a different direction and my hair's falling out again. So, and I mean, you guys can see, I'm not balding anywhere. Like I have a good thick, mess here. So I'm not balding. But I mean, I lose hair all the time. And yes, I am 30, and thinning hair is a part of aging, but I feel like it's not my hair thinning. I feel like it's my hair breaking. just by running my fingers through my hair, or by, brushing it. Brushing is such a bad experience. I have to clean my brush out every single morning without fail. I feel bad because my hair gets everywhere. It's all over my car. My boyfriend can't hug me without having at least a couple of hairs. And it gets in his beard and in his hair, and it's just everywhere. So I'm going to start over. Now, I am not talking about Britney Spears meltdown head shave start over, but I am talking about a drastic change. To give you guys an example of one that I found that I liked, because I don't know how short this is going to end up being, because I don't actually know where the damage is. So, of course, I need professional help on more than one level. Mental instability joke here. But I don't know how short it's going to need to be to get to the healthy bits, right? But one picture that I found that I could tolerate the cut is, this one. It's Victoria Beckham when she had her short. It's technically a pixie cut, but it's a long pixie cut. And I like this picture because it shows you all the sides. So that way when I go to the salon, I can go here. And they could not possibly, even famous hair could not F this up. So that's the only picture I found so far of what I like. But I can't afford to go to the kind of salon that I would have to go to say, take the damage off and then style it artistic license. The one that I went to was when I killed my hair. It was like $70-$80, and my hair wasn't even this long, right? For them to just cut all the stuff off and style it. There was no color treatment, there was no conditioning, there was no nothing. Like, they straight just cut my hair, and she might have gotten it wet or shampooed it or something first. But at that studio, that shampoo is built in, right? So I can't afford to go to that studio. The only other studio that I know of that's even reasonably priced and vaguely trustworthy, because price and trustworthiness in this area, not really a thing, right? So, and my usual girl who would do my hair at home has a full-time job, and I'm sure she's being currently worked into the ground right now. So I can't call her. Because normally, Megs, I would totally put my head in your very reliable and trustworthy hands, and I'd much rather give you my money than anybody else. However, I'm quite sure that you are being driven into the ground by your new job, or, full-time job. So, if you see this and you happen to have the time, do call me or text me, let me know. But last time we chatted, you were uber busy. Anyways, there's one the next town over that seems kind of like, and I think I talked about this in my hair cutting video, it seems kind of like somewhere between like a famous hair and a great clips, but a little like maybe one more star in the review range. It's in the same town that my boyfriend lives in, and I've gone there before with my daughter, and they did an okay job. I'd say okay to good job. I wasn't that impressed with the fact that they weren't upfront about their pricing scale. And the girl that did my hair, she seemed super frustrated that she had to deal with me, because I knew what I wanted, and I knew that a half decent hairstylist could do it, because I've gone to Famous Hair where the girls are just coming out of school, and I mean, they've got a revolving door on those places. And, you know, the little girls in there who were completely airy-fairy could do it just fine, and they did a great job, and they were happy about it. You know, and I'm the kind of person that will tip based on attitude. You know, you could F up horribly, but if you have a good attitude about it, then I'm just going to assume that you're having just a really shit day, and we all have them, and, you know, it's just an off day for you. So I'm not going to let the tip that I give, you know, to the person rendering services be affected by them having an off day, because, you know, if you have a good personality, everybody has an off day. I have them frequently. So, I was not impressed with the attitude of the service person, the hairstylist, designer, whatever they're calling themselves. I wasn't impressed with the pricing, because when at every other place that I've ever been, including Famous Hair, when you order or request a haircut, it's always been part of the cut service that they either wet or shampoo your hair. I had never been to a place where it was a la carte like that, where if you want a haircut and a shampoo and a condition and a style, that those are 4 different things. Everywhere I've ever been to, the shampoo and conditioner was always the precursor to the cut, and they weren't just going to cut your hair without styling it. So it's always been, you know, a hair burrito. Like, it's always been all in one package. And so they didn't tell me all of that. And I'm over here sitting in the chair. She's halfway through doing my hair, and I'm talking to her about what I want. And she's like, oh, well, that's not just a cut, that's a style, and it's going to be this much more. Okay. I went with it because she was already halfway through my hair, and it's a little late to just kind of half-ass this thing. But, you know, if you're going to have piecemeal or a la carte pricing at a business, you should really have an uber huge sign at the front going, here's what we offer, here's the price for each, and no, it's not a combo meal. It's, you can get fries and a drink and the burger, but you can't get all of them for the same price. Like, it's not a thing. So I have to go to that place because there's no other reasonably priced place that I'm willing to go to right now, that I know of. Anybody who can recommend a place, I've been to the one over across from the CVS that's in that house looking thing, next to the tanning nail thing, salon place. That's where I went originally when I first had to get my hair fixed. But like I said, I started going there and I was seeing a hairdresser regularly, and for the same thing, like just upkeep and maintenance visits, it was going from like 70 to 90 to 120, and she was doing the same thing. Like, their prices just kept going up and up and up, and I was just over it. So this place is the next town over, behind the McDonald's, in that strip mall behind the McDonald's, and it's actually really nice. I just really hope that my next experience, like, I'm just playing with my hair and the hair is falling out. I hope that my next experience is better, and I hope that I get somebody with a better attitude and somebody who is a little bit more interested in what I want to accomplish and not just there to be there and to make a paycheck. Because, you know, one of the primary things that I've noticed about hair stylists and hair professionals is that it's an art. Science and chemistry are involved, yes, but it takes an artist to be good at those professions. And artists are usually passionate about what they do. If you don't have passion for what you're doing and you have an artistic job description, you need to go and do something else. Like, go be a contractor or something where you can just go there, follow the instructions, and be done with it. If you don't have passion for what you're doing, then you're doing it wrong or doing the wrong thing. There's a difference between job and work. And there's a difference between work and career. And you need to decide for yourself what those mean. I would consider a job, to me, personal opinion, to me, a job would be something that you do just to get by, just to make money. So to me, a job would be McDonald's, Burger King, a fast food place that you go to because you need a paycheck. That's a job, right? A career is something that you go into with the intention of staying there for a long period of time. It is going to be your steady income, your long-term breadwinning solution. Like what I do. I work in an office. I'm good at what I do. I like the people I work with. I like my job description. I like the people that I get to interact with. And I'm not a people person. But, 90% of the days I go home and I'm not trying to kill myself. I'm not stressed out. I'm not hating my life. Everybody who has any sort of income making thing, whether it's a job, whether it's work, whether it's a career, you're going to have stressful days. You're human. We all have stressful days. So there's no perfect anything. But when you have your work, that puts a suggestion on your life's work, something you're passionate about, something that you've put heart and soul and sweat and blood into. And I can honestly say I don't have one of those. My life's work are my children, for example. I am passionate about my kids. I'm passionate about their well-being. I'm passionate about their future. I'm passionate, and I've put blood and sweat and tears into their well-being and into their futures. So I don't have work or a life's work in a sense of an outside task or activity. I would like to have one, but with 3 children under the age of 8, 2 of which are still in diapers, and both are auditioning for Terrorist in Chief, it's really difficult to be able to have a hobby on a life's work. I don't know how the super moms do it. I don't fall into that classification. Apparently my mother's show just kind of hit an action scene because it just got really loud. But I hope you guys can still hear me. So I'm going to start over and do something fresh and new. And my challenge is to not dye my hair. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I did warn the boyfriend and I asked him about it because it's my body and it's my hair, but I don't want to do anything that's going to make him never want to look at my face again or require me to wear like a paper bag when we're out in public together. And I also, because I'm going probably shorter than his hair, I didn't want him to feel emasculated because people might think that he's walking down the street holding a guy's hand. So I honestly did not think it would be a problem. And I was right. It's not. He said that something that short would just take him a little bit to get used to. And legitimately, I don't intend on keeping it that short. I do intend on growing it back out, but I want to grow it out healthy and I want to grow it out raw and virgin hair, just completely start over and not do anything to it except get the usual trims. You know what I mean? So that's my challenge. I could really use some help in giving some ideas because, like I was saying, and I completely went off on a tangent, I just realized it. If you go into a B-level studio, you know, A-level being the high-end ones, like the ones you see on TVs and the ones that you see, you know, getting huge star ratings, right? If you go into like a 3-star studio or even a 2-star, you have to go in with an idea, even if you don't have an idea, because you are asking them to completely disassemble your life if you don't end up getting lucky enough to have somebody who's passionate about what they're doing. If you get the person that I got who was just there to be there and wasn't interested in her client at all, she was very brusque about having to deal with my daughter who was also getting her haircut. And I mean, we were in, you know, chairs right next to each other, and she was just annoyed and I kept seeing her give like sidelong roll eye glances at my daughter, and that's not a good attitude, you know, to bring. And that's saying something coming from me because I have trouble controlling my attitude towards other people. Firstly, because I'm antisocial beyond all logical reason, but also because I take mood stabilizers, and especially like before quarantine was when I was trying out new medications and trying to figure out what was going to work better because what I was taking at the time was not working. So much so that my bosses noticed, and I would get pulled into their office and they'd go, "Hey, are you okay? Are you all right? Did you take your meds? Are they working? Did something happen?" Because a lot of times with my medications, I can maintain at least a level, right? I'm not here. I have a level. It's a neutral. It's not great. It's not horrible. It's neutral. And I wasn't. I would flip out on people for nothing, or I'd just start bawling in my cubicle for nothing. Decidedly so. And on a personal note, this was also before I met my boyfriend, who has been such a blessing to my life, to me, to my emotional stability. He's been a huge boost in my confidence, and he's actually been really helping me with my own self-worth. You know, and I mean, every time I think about that, you know, you hear people say, you know, it's your self-worth. It's your self-esteem. Nobody can affect how you feel about yourself. Well, really, they can. And it's so refreshing and breathtaking at the same time that I was able to find someone who can not only not bring me down, but raises me up and insists that I be raised up. But it's not so much like putting me on a pedestal. He just gets me above water, you know, and I feel like a queen. I really do. He treats me like a queen, but it's not like that high pedestal that you're up so high that when you fall from grace that the landing's gonna suck. It's awesome, and it's giving me the confidence to do something like this, to where I feel like I can just be myself and be natural. When he first met me, I still have red hair, and I've taken every step and talked to him about it because, you know, it's not his body, but I would like him to look at me for the foreseeable future. So I'm not just going to go off and, have a total makeover and not ask him how he feels about it, and discuss it with him. Here's what I want to do. Here's my ideas. Is any part of that atrocious to you? And I've never really gotten a no from him. The only thing that I've ever really gotten from him was when I was talking about changing my hair color because I was over the red and the maintenance was too expensive. And the only thing he told me was he really just does not dig cartoon colors. My red was a natural enough auburn that it didn't strike him, but he wasn't looking for like neon yellow or blue or pink or green or purple, stuff like that. And I was completely fine with that because, especially back then, I did not have the confidence to pull those off, even if I wanted to. The only time I would put bold, like Technicolor colors in my hair is if I was working off of a black base and doing like color lights, just streaks in my black. But I promised my mother 6 years ago that I would never dye my hair black again, so long as she lives, and she's still breathing. So obviously black is out of the question. So I finally have the ability to feel comfortable with what I have, and I'd like to see where that takes me. So if you have any ideas of a style that I could show the girl once she assesses where the damage actually is, because my roots are to here, right? But the texture change is to here, and it gets really bad about this area. Okay, so I could have this length or this length or this length. We don't know. So once she assesses the damage, I'd like to have a few ideas depending on where she needs to cut to be able to give her a styling idea, because I don't want her to just cut the damage off and then I look like a trimmed broomstick. It's not something I'm interested in. So I do want her to style it when she's done. I do know that a good portion of my length is going to end up coming off, but I am going to baby the ever-living crap out of my hair to get it to grow back out, because it finally started growing at all. And so I'm really hoping that I can get it back to a longer length, because I've missed my long hair. There's so many things that I can do with it when it's long, but there's no point in doing all this fancy stuff with hair that doesn't look good to start with, because if you don't have a good foundation, it doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to look good. So that's my idea. Comment with maybe links of pictures that you guys see, or if there's a better salon that you think I can try in the area, that'd be super. Anyway, so thanks for listening to my diary. Toodles.